Good afternoon.
Hello, everybody.
Good afternoon, Alex. It's Friday afternoon. It's the end of the week, and we have another business focus activity for you. As you can tell, we know what time it is.
Yeah, we can't fake it. It's officially noon, and the bells are ringing.
We know what time of day it is.
Yeah.
There's no question, yes? If you hear that, you are listening to Alex and Richard at 12 o'clock and you're waiting for your business focus activity. But in all seriousness, welcome. Thanks, guys, for joining us again. We have another business focus lined up for you today. Just to remind you all that next week, we have a bank holiday on the Friday. So, of course, there will be no webinars broadcast next Friday. But from Monday to Thursday, it's business as usual. Excuse the joke. So the school will be broadcasting their normal webinars as usual, and Alex and I will be here at 12 o'clock from usual. I'll just introduce myself quickly for the people that don't know me. So as I said, my name is Richard. I'm from Wales originally, so I am Welsh and British because I'm from the UK. I have been living in Milan for nearly 5 years, and I am a corporate teacher with Alex at the school in Milan at Meravigli. And because I'm a corporate teacher, I teach at companies inside and outside of Milan, mainly business English, but also general English. Alex, over to you. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Thank you. Yes, my name is Alex. Alexandra, you can call me Alex. And I also am a corporate teacher with Richard in the school of Milano Meravigli. So we work in the same school. As Richard, I mainly focus on companies and, individuals as well, like yourselves, who want to learn and practice English. So I am strong in business English, but general English as well. I have a cat. Probably I haven't mentioned this before. A very big cat. So if also you guys watching are pet owners and would like to share where you live and the name of your cats, or dogs or whatever, I'd be very curious and happy to know.
You're lucky. I have children. You have a cat. You've got no problem. I have 2 children.
Any animal will be fine, even children.
You wait. And Alex, do you want to remind the guys where you're from? Because it's quite interesting.
Yes, I am half American, as you can probably hear from my accent, and I'm also Italian, so I am bilingual.
You do have an accent, but it's not particularly strong. I mean, you can tell it's American, but
yeah, it's not that strong because I have grown up and worked in Italy for a long time. Of course, all my relatives are American, so I was lucky enough to grow up there and spend all my summers when I was small in the US. So that gives me a good background as far as pronunciation, but it's not that strong. I agree.
No, it's don't take this the wrong way, but it's a nice American accent. Yeah,
it's some clear, probably. Yeah.
No, just some American accents can be really, But also, I don't think it's just with America. I'm Welsh. There are some Welsh accents that I don't like, that are particularly great in. So, but you have a very nice, quite sort of semi-neutral American accent. So yes, guys, as Alex said, please drop us a comment from where you are listening from, with your names, which Myes school you attend, if you like, and also maybe what you do, what your job is, or if you are studying, and of course, we are doing a business webinar today, but please, if you have any other questions that aren't related to the subject, please still ask. Yes, drop us a comment. And if we can answer them in this webinar, we will. Yeah, so we don't have to specifically focus on this. Okay.
Oh, hello, so Deborah from Rome. Nice to see you again. See you in some sense, but we feel you.
No, nice to see you, Deborah. We haven't heard from you in the last couple of days, so I'm glad you are okay. And I heard that the weather is a little bit better in Rome today, because the weather is very nice here in Milan. And I don't know whether that's a good or bad thing, because when the weather's nice, you want to go out, and because we can't go out. But then at the beginning of the week when it was raining, but we were still inside, I felt a bit miserable. So.
Oh.
You can't win either way, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. So, how about today's topic? What are we talking about?
No idea.
That's an easy way out. So, today, guys, as you can see, we're talking about networking. And as you can see, it's following up. So this is a phrasal verb that means basically after you have had maybe a meeting, you send maybe an update, or a reminder, or a synthesis of whatever you've spoken about. That's called a follow-up. To follow up is the verb, and it means to do this activity of keeping contact after you have had a meeting.
Yes, it could be maybe an action point, some further action that you said that you were going to do. Yes, so you could use, a phrase if you were writing an email, for example. Following our meeting on Monday, I'm attaching this year's financial review or something. Yes, you providing further action, or as Alex said, you are continuing some sort of communication with that person. Yes, so it's not always an action, but could be an action, or maybe it's where you are providing information. Okay. Yes, Deborah said she was a bit busy this week. Well, that's good anyway. It's nice to be busy.
At least, it keeps our mind off the bad things that are happening in these weeks and keep us concentrated. And I'm sure you're going to enjoy the weekend that is coming up. Just one more thing about our topic. We will see in this focus activity, we'll see how important it is to, like Richard was saying, to create a connection to the action we are referring to. So, for example, to mention that we are, as in our meeting, following up on a subject, a request or something, with precise details of what that request was and how you are following up. So how about we start? Let's look at what's in store for today.
Okay, so going back to the title, following up. And in this business activity, write in a thank you letter, okay, which I think is quite important. And we're going to spend a little bit of time looking at that. Restating company strengths. So if you are restating something, you are basically repeating and emphasizing what those.
Reaffirming.
Yeah, very good. Thank you, Alex. Great, you helped me out there. It's a good word. Reaffirming them. Okay. And we are going to look at the grammar that we're going to look at are relative clauses. And it's not as difficult as you may think. Yes, relative clauses. They have all these big grammar words sometimes in English, and it's like, oh, it's just that. Yeah. So we'll have a look at also a little bit further on. So first thing we're going to look at is the thank you letter.
So here we are.
And shall I read it when you can read the next one? Yeah.
Sure, fine. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Dear John, it was a pleasure speaking with you on the phone yesterday. I'm so glad that we had a chance to discuss the project. It's a tedious project which requires a lot of attention. After speaking with the production team, I'm sorry to report that your requested delivery date is not feasible. Due to many production steps, the best delivery date that we can give you is the 30th of May. I'm looking forward to hearing your feedback. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate. Okay, nice letter, formal. It's regarding business. And first of all, before we look at the questions, let's just make sure that we are happy with the understanding of the vocabulary. I would point out to you guys the first word that may be new or may not be is tedious. Okay, and it's an adjective here to describe a project. Yes, if it's a tedious project, something that is tedious, it's very long and very maybe tiresome. Also,
could it also be slightly boring?
Well, I was going to say, well, funny enough, great minds think alike. I was just going to ask you the same question. Could we use the word boring? I was going to ask you, Alex. Yeah, I think so. Do you think so?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
boring is a more common word to express probably something that is tedious. Of course, it's more elegant. Tedious is more appropriate for a business letter, and it expresses something that, yeah, you're not that happy to do, probably.
Yeah, and long. So boring and long.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's okay. Good. I'm glad we agree on that. I would say then also a word that we have seen a few times, but just to remind you, it says that the delivery date is not feasible, and when something is feasible, it's possible. So in this case, we could say that the delivery date is not possible. Yes. Okay. I don't know, Alex. Maybe I would say feedback. When you get feedback, if you get someone's opinion on something, or maybe a review opinion.
It's a way of replying to something. I like very much the expression, if you have any question, please don't hesitate. There is probably something that is also, you can also write in this sentence to make it more complete, such as, if you have any question, please don't hesitate to ask. So in this case, it's not there, but of course the meaning is the same.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, normally I do finish it like more or less you do, Alex. Yeah. I use also at the end to ask or maybe to contact me.
Right.
Yes. And you could even follow it up. I mean, okay, again, it becomes a bit maybe too long, but if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me and I will try my best to answer your question or something like that.
Yeah, something.
But very good to ask or to contact me. I maybe like Alex would finish it, please do not hesitate. It's okay, but yeah, it's a polite way to say something.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Very good. Very good. Yes.
Okay. So what do we need to do, Alex?
So let's try to look at the questions. So, for example, why did Steve write this short email? Well, he is following up, as our title suggests. He's following up on a request. The request, as we can probably guess, is about a delivery date. And as you can read from the email, this request is infeasible. That means that he is not able to positively respond to the request of delivery date, probably of an earlier delivery date. In fact, he writes, the best delivery date that we can give you is May 30th or the 30th of May, as you prefer. And as we can see, the relationship between Steve and John is I'd say professional. It's still a formal email, as you can probably notice from the opening and the closing. We start with Dear John and end with regards, so very formal writing. But still, they clearly know each other and are very polite. So there is, as Deborah says, there's probably a collaborative relationship between them. Very well said.
Yeah, I think it's like semi-formal. It is formal, but also there is a hint of maybe friendliness. You can tell from the email it's not.
I'm
not
sorry
strangers.
to report.
Yes.
I'm sorry. You wouldn't say I'm sorry if it was a complete stranger.
You say I apologize.
I apologize. Yeah.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
yes.
It's more, let's say, more normal, colloquial, everyday way of speaking. So there's a good balance in this email.
Yeah. Going back to the title, following up. Of course, the expression he uses with reference to the follow-up is in the first sentence, where he says, it was a pleasure speaking with you on the phone yesterday. So he's referring to it. So you can see this is the introduction to the follow-up. And I'm glad we had the chance to discuss the project. Okay. Again, we said it's semi-formal. For you guys that have seen some of our other webinars on emails, there are a few contractions in there. Yes, where
I'm looking, it's a tedious, yeah, very good.
So if you wanted to, you could take away those contractions. It is a tedious project and I am looking forward. But as we've always said in these webinars, think of the person you are writing to and think of the relationship you have with them. Then you know the style that you should use or
if
is
it's
acceptable.
Appropriate, yeah.
Okay. Do you, anything else you want to add? Or I'm okay.
I think I'm okay. Of course, if anybody listening is curious to know more, please drop a comment. So let's look at this other slide, and again we have already crossed this expression, getting the word out. So what do you think getting the word out means? So we can probably express this concept as with a synonym such as promoting or advertising. Getting out, getting the word out means to have, to say, to announce something that we are interested in promoting, such as a product or a service.
Yeah, I think those synonyms are spot on, 100%. Yeah, to promote or to advertise. I don't think you could have said it any better than that. Okay, so we have a question here. Who do you exchange emails with on a normal workday? I like that, normal workday. That's in the past. That is. Yeah.
It's not normal anymore, probably.
No, we don't have a normal workday anymore. Very good. Deborah has actually added a comment, which is correct. Another expression is to get your name out. Yes, good. Yeah, you can get your name out or getting the word out. Yes.
Very well done.
Very good. Exactly the same. So let's have a look. Who do we exchange emails with on a normal day? It could be colleagues, suppliers, existing clients, potential clients. And what do you usually write about? And how does your tone differ in each email? Okay, now the tone of the email is basically like the feelings you are expressing in the writing. Yes.
Right. We talk about tone of voice, in fact.
Yeah, so you can tell if the tone is maybe angry or happy or funny. Yes, and this depends on the language you use, the style you use. Like Deborah said about the first email, and as we added to it, yeah, you can tell from the tone that they are not complete strangers. There's some there's some collaborative relationship between them. Yes, so they're not complete strangers. So this sets the tone. Yes. Okay, Al, do you want to give your opinion on the question about, or questions?
Sure. Well, I'd say that I normally exchange, of course, we're talking about work days, so probably their emails with colleagues may be more frequent. In the situation we are in, of course, it is necessary, it has become more common to write emails with colleagues just to be aligned on a lot of decisions, just to progress even in some decisions or projects we're working on. Maybe to confirm, in my case, I am a teacher, so maybe I might confirm a lesson or an availability I have during the week. So yeah, I will exchange a lot of emails with colleagues. I am not, I don't own my own business, so I don't have anything to do with suppliers, but I'm trying to think, well, actually, it's not totally true. I have been exchanging emails with suppliers if I think about food or online purchases that I may have done. So they're supplying me with food, and of course you need to maybe confirm an availability or a delivery hour or something like that. And I am not in sales, so I generally do not look for clients, but yes, I may be in contact with students or people who I am teaching to. So I guess all apply. Of course, there are also relatives and informal emails that I might exchange with my relatives in the US or my relatives here in Milan, my mom, my sister, and so on.
Okay. Deborah's written a nice comment there. I usually exchange mails with colleagues, suppliers. Thank you, Al. In my personal life, I write email to ask information, booking hotels, send enquiries to doctors. Yeah, not requires. I think it's just, I know you, Deborah. I think it's just a spell, so just a little mistake there. I'm pretty sure you know you intended to write that. Yeah, you send inquiries to doctors. For me, basically the same as Alex, because the nature of our job. Yes, it's okay. Don't worry.
It's okay. Don't worry.
I know that
it.
you know. I know that you
Yeah.
know. Yes, because I've seen your English before. It's very good. Yes, I mean, I don't really deal with suppliers, but it's a good point that Alex made there. Yeah, in a way, a little bit now because we do online shopping and stuff.
Right.
Existing clients, potential clients, not so much, of course, because of our job. I would change that maybe for us, well, one of them anyway, could be existing students. Yes,
Right.
okay. The majority of the time, our school manages the contact with the students, yes, but sometimes the students do contact us if maybe they can't contact the school, or sometimes it's easier for them to speak to us directly, and
Sometimes
vice
there is
versa.
homework, for
Yeah,
example.
so we do. The tone, of course, with colleagues, I would say friendly to semi-formal.
Yeah, semi-formal. I
Yes,
agree.
Alex and I know each other quite well now. Or we've got to know each other quite well over the
Yeah.
last couple of weeks. So I wouldn't make it too formal with Alex. I mean, of course, I wouldn't use bad language or something, but I mean, we speak now in quite an informal way, yes? Okay, as you would speak to a friend or something. Yeah. Have you done that yet? Have you got that? Yes, not your. Oh, I'm writing to inquire if you have got that. Come on.
I would probably think you're mocking me or something.
Yeah, she'd go,
what
are you talking about? What's this?
What's that?
Of course, for some other colleagues that maybe I don't know so well, I might change the language a little bit to make it a bit more polite, just to make sure that you're showing some respect. Yes, so that's how my tone would be. Normally friendly, yes, okay, or try to be friendly. Suppliers, the tone could be angry or friendly, depending. Yes, if you're complaining about something, then
probably more formal.
Yeah, more formal. So, okay. Anything to add?
I think we said it all.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's important to develop the ability of understanding the right tone of voice. Why? Because it shows that you have social intelligence, so you're able to understand the appropriateness of a style rather than another one. Of course, the more you develop this ability, the more confident and accurate you can be in replying and using emails as a tool for your job. So I think it's really important to develop this kind of sixth sense that allows us to understand if something is appropriate or not in a digital environment.
Yeah, I think it's the use of the language which is important. I mean, for example, I think one of the hardest things, but you can do it, and I do this sometimes in some of my lessons, is how do you write a complaint letter? Yes, in a nice way. Well, if you're making a complaint, it's not a nice subject, or you are angry. But there are tricks, there are styles you can use, words you can use that show you are very angry, but it's very formal, and it's not offensive. Yes, so you set in the tone, but you agree, Alex? A complaint letter, maybe?
Definitely, yes. It's quite. If you try to practice writing, managing your anger and allowing
Yes.
it to come through in a formal way, you're definitely putting yourself to a really good test.
Yeah, because it's quite easy to use bad language or to swear, and
And you don't want to do that because
No.
you would automatically be on the wrong side.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So
Okay.
let's move on and look at a case study. We're going to read through it quickly and just focus on those underlined words. So may
Okay.
I start?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. So Bright is a Japanese company that specializes in medical defibrillators. I don't know how to say that, honestly.
Neither do I. That's why I say let you do this one.
Thank you. That's so sweet. Okay. They have developed a new whatever, which brings portable innovation to the medical industry. Sayoko Wu is a sales executive who has just finished up a very important closing meeting. The client that she met with is Electa Industries, a very important potential client for SoBright. She needs to seal the deal by parting ways with a great follow-up thank you letter.
Okay. Very good, Alex. I don't even know how to pronounce that word either, and I don't even know what it. I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, it's the machine that makes your heart beat again if it stops. The thing in the picture, yeah.
Ah, okay. So I didn't even look at the photo. Yeah. All right. It's okay. Well, I wouldn't have known.
Defibrillator. See, it's not easy. Guys,
Defibrillator. Defibrillator.
Yes, there it is. See?
Wow.
Practice. Sometimes, guys, we laugh, but it to speak is training your tongue to do something. So sometimes you just have to repeat, and the word will come out eventually. Defibrillator.
And also, this language is medical language. And
yes.
Like we spoke to you about before, where we use the word jargon, yeah, which is language associated to your particular type of work. Yes, there are certain words that you may not know, you may not see. Yes, we're always learning, and these words become difficult sometimes. When you look at anatomy, yes, I don't know the names of the bones. They use a lot of Latin words. I have no idea how to pronounce these things. Yeah, so sometimes the non-native speakers can pronounce them better than the native speakers.
Yes.
Yeah, it's true.
So, as we were saying, let's carefully look at some of the language. For example, the words in red, to seal the deal. To seal the deal means to close the deal. So probably we've had a meeting with a client. We're this much far from actually signing a contract. So we want to close the deal. We want to seal it. Like you can seal an envelope when you are sending a letter.
Yeah, perfect. I'd say good. To close, to finalize, to finish. Yes. So there is some progression and then stop. Yeah. And then we have the word there, which we've looked at from the beginning, really, of this webinar, with a great follow-up thank you letter. Okay, so it's a letter after the meeting. Sorry, I'm just my eyesight. Yeah, after the meeting, and the object of this follow-up is a thank you letter. We said the follow-up letters could be different things, an action or a thank you or okay.
Very good, precisely. We're talking about when a follow-up is necessary. It is necessary for any type of job, especially in sales, such as in the example we see, to follow up on a meeting in order to successfully close, hopefully, that deal, as well as in teamwork, to recap, basically list all the things that have been done or need to be done. Of course, very well done, Deborah. You're giving us a lot of examples. It's useful, a follow-up letter is useful when you have to refer to your or maybe update your superiors or your manager or whoever is above you regarding the tasks that you were assigned. Can you think of any other situation?
Yeah, I'm reading Deborah's comments, which I think spot on, 100% correct. I would just add sometimes also that the reason we do these, yes, also, and maybe a bit similar to what Deborah is getting to also, is it's in writing then also. Yes. So the reason for a follow-up is to have it in writing, so you can also refer to that if someone doesn't do something. Yes. Also, it's like some protection against you or the company. Yes. Okay. Because then you would say, referring to your follow-up letter, you stated that da 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 da. Yeah. So it's also to remind us of what has been agreed or the way forward or provided information, but also as a document.
A proof.
Yeah,
a document.
Very good. Thank you. I was trying to think.
Yeah.
The proof of something that was said. Yeah. This is why we have minutes to a meeting. Yeah. The minutes to a meeting are a follow-up. Yes. And the minutes are formal follow-ups to the meeting. Yes. So it's basically it's in writing. Yes. Okay. And you can always refer to it. Yes. If someone doesn't do something. Okay, Alex, sorry, you go ahead with
No, it's okay. Just as we mentioned at the beginning of this slide, we have some words in the text that are underlined. So you probably know the function of these words. They are all words that allow us to create relative clauses. So a clause is a type of sentence. It is a sentence that follows a main sentence, and we are able to connect to create a relationship between these two parts of a large sentence through words such as the ones that are underlined. So there is a relation. That's why it's called relative clause.
Yes, there's a link, or it references and gives more information from the previous point or phrase or sentence. Yes, it adds a little bit more information. Yes, okay, like we hear, So Bright is a Japanese company. Yeah, and then it gives more information that specializes in medical defibrillators.
Yeah, yes? If we were to separate these two sentences back to two different ones, we would have to repeat the subject. For example, So Bright is a Japanese company. Full stop. So Bright specializes in medical defibrillators. Those things. Oh, God. Anyway.
It's all right. It's Friday. It's been a long week.
So we create a larger, more complete sentence by using the word that.
Great. Yeah, I agree. Like Alex just pointed out there. Yeah, you'd have to write two sentences instead of one there. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And as we know, repetition in a writing or in speaking should be avoided. That's why we use synonyms, and that's why relative clauses can be so useful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to go further on in order to practice these relative clauses and see how they cover different functions in the sentence. We've seen the first example, that, which substitutes subject, but sometimes they can substitute objects. For example, they have developed a new defibrillator, which, in this case, it is referring to the object and no longer the subject. The new defibrillator brings portable innovation to the medical industry, and so on.
You got that right that time. You got it. You got it right that time.
Because I was thinking very carefully what I wanted to say. It's too difficult.
Your
Okay.
pronunciation was spot on.
Oh,
Okay.
wonderful! Thank you.
Let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at this practice. Oh no, we got the email next. I
Yes,
forgot
yes.
this. Okay, so we got sealing the deal, which Alex said is like finalizing the deal, closing the deal. And we have the email itself. So we have, Dear Linda, it was nice to be able to meet with you yesterday and discuss our upcoming project for our portable defibrillators.
There you go.
It will be a big production, which will certainly take our greatest of efforts. But as you know, SoBright is a company that welcomes a challenge. We have developers and a production staff who never disappoint. I'm attaching the modified offer that you requested, as we can offer price breaks above 20,000 units. I think we have found a partnership which will benefit the both of us, and we can't wait to start working with you. If you have anything you're unsure about, please don't hesitate to contact me. Okay, best regards, Sayoko Wu. Okay, and
so we're going to highlight some of the language inside this email. So which words are used in the above email to connect two dependent ideas? As we just mentioned before regarding the relative clauses, they connect, they create a relationship between two separate ideas or sentences, merging into one more complete and sophisticated by some means sentence. So we're going to highlight them one by one.
Okay, so we have in the second sentence, oh my gosh, a bit difficult to see. We have which. Yeah, it will be a big production, which will certainly take our greatest of efforts. Okay.
Okay.
So it's referring to the production and giving a bit more information.
Okay. Then comes that.
Who?
As you know, SoBright is a company that welcomes the challenge. As we saw previously, that allows us to refer to the subject of the previous sentence. So it is referring to SoBright.
Okay. And here we use a word when we talk about people. So we look at the word who.
Where did it
go? This is referring to the production staff. Yes, something additional. Yes. Yes. Production. Yeah, we have developers and a production staff who never disappoint.
Yes, we can only use who when we're referring to people. So it doesn't apply when we're talking about things or situations or services, inanimate objects in general.
Okay. And the next one, I think...
I am attaching the modified offer that you requested. So that is quite, how can you say, a flexible word, because it applies both to people and to things. It probably is the most common way of the most common relative clause, as it is used for both. That, yeah, very, very well done. Exactly. That is possible to applies both to people and to things. Very good.
And I would say that and which are interchangeable also, no?
Yes, yes, I would say.
Yeah.
I think which is a little bit more more sophisticated. That is definitely most common.
Yeah, maybe which, you mean a little bit more formal, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, more.
Which is more. Yeah.
I don't know. There's a little bit of attention in the use of which. It shows you probably are more casual with your grammar. I think we know what you're saying if you use which rather than that. That is probably more informal.
Okay.
Okay, so
are there any? I was I was just going to
The
have a
vocabulary.
quick look, and I think it's okay. It says, I'm attaching the modified offer that you requested, as we can offer you price breaks of above 20,000. If it's a price break here, it's going to be maybe some sort of discount. Yes. Okay. Or maybe a price that is a little bit lower than the usual. Yes.
More
Okay.
convenient. Yeah.
Normally, when you are buying products on a big scale, we use the expression in bulk. In
Right.
bulk means a lot of, and for a lot of companies, sometimes they would say, well, if you buy in bulk, if you buy a bigger quantity, we lower the price. We give you a discounted price. And I can't really see anything else, Alex. I don't know if you want to.
I think I agree with you. Again, we have the closing. Please don't hesitate to contact me. As we see in this case, it is complete. I personally prefer this sentence, so I prefer to complete the sentence by saying, please don't hesitate to contact me. Okay, so we're going to now look at, practice a little bit of these connectors we have seen, relative clauses. So we're going to go through these sentences one by one and fill out the gaps. So we'll start with the first one.
Okay.
So we'll have, yeah.
It'll be a big production, which will certainly take our greatest of efforts. But as you know, So Bright is a company that welcomes a challenge. Okay.
Yeah, we wouldn't say So Bright is a company who welcomes a challenge, because as we said, who is used for people, and that can cover both people and inanimate things. And a company as a whole is something that is not a person, of course. So
3, very good, Deborah.
Yeah, always very.
And I agree with Deborah. You could use both of those in 1 and 2 also. Yes. In my opinion, she's used that in 1 also, which I think is correct. Yes,
it's precise. Yeah, it's not a problem. Yeah. So we have developers and production staff who never disappoint.
Because we are referring to people. Okay. I'm attaching the modified offer that you requested. See, I think this is I think this is very stylistic. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, but you wouldn't say which you requested. Would you write that? I wouldn't say.
I've seen it. Yeah. I think it's more normal for us to say that.
Yeah.
That you requested. Yeah. If you find anything.
If you find anything that you're unsure about, please don't hesitate to, or nothing. Sorry. If you find anything you're unsure about, correct. Sometimes you can skip. It happens when, especially we need to connect a sentence that refers to the object of the previous one. So if you find anything, and the second would be you are unsure about anything, both have the same object. That's why we can put these 2 sentences together by omitting the relative clause, because in both sentences the words are the same and they cover the same function.
But I would also think nothing wrong of using that also there. Yeah. if you find anything that you're unsure about.
Yeah, I think this stylistically is just a little bit better. There's no real need to put that
No, you don't have.
inside.
You don't have to.
That's why we skip it.
Both are correct. Yeah.
Okay. And the last is, I think we have found a partnership which or that will benefit the both of us. Okay, so just to review what we have seen today, we have spoken about following up on and how this ability is extremely important when we are in business, because it allows us to achieve different tasks, such as hopefully in business closing a deal. So you follow up to what you have agreed upon. You allow your management or your colleagues to be aligned and updated on what has been on what has been agreed upon, and especially you put in writing things that you have said verbally in order to refer to them in the future. We have seen, yeah, sorry.
No, and like we said before, also it's documented. Yeah. Also, it's partly to remind people what was agreed, and also it's in writing. So, like Alex said, you can refer to it later that it was in writing. Yes. Okay.
Okay. And we have seen some useful connectors. We're talking about the relative clauses. They're relative in the sense that they create a relationship and they allow us to put together ideas that are dependent from one another. Sometimes the dependence refers to the subject. Sometimes it may refer to the object of the main sentence.
And also, it could relate to a person.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, when we use the relative clause who, we are talking about people. We've just had a message from Mr. Sympathia. Hi, nice to meet you, Sympathia. Where are you viewing us from? Would you like to send us a message just before we finish? Yes. I'm afraid.
Yes, unfortunately. But it's important to let you know that all these webinars are going to be publicly available on our YouTube channel. So you can see this one again, as well as all the other webinars that our fellow teachers have been producing together with us. So that being said, thank you so much for following us. Once again, we're very happy to have you with us every day. And we look forward to seeing you somehow next week, and enjoy your weekend.
Yes, just to repeat what Al said, really. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us again. Your comments are always appreciated and useful and great. Yes, okay, because it's nice to have this interaction. I wish you all a very nice weekend, and I hope the weather stays the same. I'm just looking out the window. And see you next week, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. Take care. Ciao.